So you're talking about your cat. We're recording now.
Yeah, okay, we're on, yeah. The cat, yeah, the older cat, Cricket. Yeah, she's having a rough time right now. I think she's
Because
feeling a
I
little.
stated before that cats, they kill and they fuck. Because they know
Yes.
what's up.
Yeah, that's pretty true. They're predators, even though they're tiny and in your house. If you were smaller than them, they would kill you without thinking about it. That's true.
Yeah, they would eat your face. You know, they'd probably piss on your mouth a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit.
that's what they find. You know, when old crazy cat ladies die, like the lips are gone. That's the first thing they go after because it's pretty soft.
Wait, which lips?
Oh, I guess it depends on what they'd be wearing at the time of their death. You know, if it was
How long
what's
does it?
accessible.
How long does it take 10 cats to take an old woman's panties off after she's dead?
Ooh, 10. Are they working together, or are they finally, because the leader of the cult's dead, they want to go their separate ways?
I feel like it's some sort of a robot chicken thing where these cats all band together and plan out architecturally
I
how they're
think,
gonna remove this woman's panties so they can eat her pussy lips off.
yeah, it's gonna be a riddle for the ages. 10 cats, one old lady. I'd give it over under of like 20 minutes for them to
Oh
figure
wait,
out.
so back on track.
okay, yeah.
Your cat. There's a black cat involved.
Yeah, so no, so my cat, right, she's polydactyl, right? She's got 7 toes on her front and 6 on her back. So like if cats were killers, she's like 7/4 a normal killer cat.
Yeah.
So she likes being outside. Then we have this little courtyard area, and she definitely chases the little squirrels. They've got a little underground nest, and she likes trying to dig that out. But lately, we've got these new neighbors, and they have this like second-story apartment. So like there's a window that is over the building's like front door. Then there's like an overhang there, and the cat will just like hang out up there, and it goes in and out through that window.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty fucking smart cat, and
Looking out at the territory.
yeah, but the problem is we have a window that looks right at this cat. So like our cat, which used to be the queen of her kingdom out there in the courtyard, now has to like sit inside and watch this like stray, big black dominant cat. Like,
That's my turf.
yeah, like take over a turf, because we don't want her outside. We don't know if that cat's got its shots or whatnot. And
Yeah.
you know, Crick is a killer, so she definitely wouldn't be
Yeah,
friends.
you can't have cats spreading diseases.
Yeah.
You know how they're gonna spread those diseases.
Oh yeah, definitely killing
Yeah,
and fucking. That's how they're doing it. And you know, that cat out there definitely sees ours and is like, hey, there's like 2 lady cats in there, both spayed already. So you know, no, don't have to worry about being a daddy cat.
Oh man,
Just getting after it.
he's
But,
gonna drain his balls in your cats.
Yeah. Oof. Oof. I don't know if I like the sound of that. I mean, like cats, they screech too. Like they've got what, corkscrew peen, so like it rips up the inside.
Dude, other
You know,
animals'
like, you know-
wieners are so weird.
Yeah. Well, our wieners are weird too. We're definitely not meant for monogamy the way that our wieners are shaped, because the head is designed to when you penetrate, it's got like a suction scoop.
Yeah.
That's why it flares out like that, so it scoops out your previous conqueror's semen.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do like 5 of those good pumps, and then you're just supposed to dump your load in there. And I don't know, I guess like knock her over the head so like she can't
Yeah.
be
So
promiscuous about there, and your guy's got a shot at it.
So she can't go find somebody that can scoop out your goo.
Yeah.
So you can make another little soldier.
Yeah, just keep it going.
A soldier for Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, soldiers, those are the best ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
Crusaders, they were the ones looking what? For the Holy Grail?
So
Or were they looking for early oil? Were they the early white men conquerors, knowing what's going on under that?
they knew
Or
where
the desert
Jesus
ground.
killed all the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
Jesus took care of those big lizard bastards.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was a beautiful story about some
Mhm.
beautiful, beautiful cats.
Yeah, they're nice cats. We got Cricket and then KP. Yeah, got her name because when she was a little one, she like rolling around her own pee. Smelled like cat pee. So we changed the C to a K. It's KP.
That is a clever thing. So would you call yourself a cat daddy?
Hmm. You know, secretly I prefer dogs more. Don't tell my cats that, but I'm definitely a dog guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be a cat daddy. I definitely pamper them.
Dogs they can be a lot more useful than cats.
That's true, but if I got a dog, I would have to start running again.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I'm
usually
ready for that commitment.
dogs like yards and frolicking. I
Yeah.
can never own a dog in town because I'm used to having dogs out in the. None of my dogs I ever had that were pets were on a leash. I had some hunting dogs that I had to keep in a cage because they were savage fucking killing machines,
Oh yeah,
and they were trained to be that way.
sure.
We had to keep those in cages because they would kill everything.
Oh yeah, definitely growing up, my family always had dogs. Always had dogs. There was always a couple little ones and a big one or two that were running around.
Yeah, I fed them. They were nice to me. Other animals, though, they were not.
Oh yeah.
But we caught a lot of raccoons, and we sold them pelts. We ate some of them. Barbecued raccoon is it's not bad.
I don't think. I think I would rather eat a rat before I ate a raccoon.
Really?
Yeah.
I would definitely eat a rat. I saw them doing it in Vikings. It looks delicious.
Oh yeah.
Rotisserie rat?
Those rats probably were eating real food, like things out in the wild, and not like the trash from the local
want
landfill.
those corn-fed
or what you
rats.
got in your trash can. Yeah.
Not garbage-fed
Yeah.
rats.
No, that's pre-GMO. That's about as close to vegan as you could get in a day.
There's a lot of rats in New York people could eat, but
I'm sure that people do eat, the street meat. It's not.
Yeah.
Come on. Where do you think they're getting that from?
well, that's a very, very good observation.
I
there.
heard a story recently. I think it was in India that there was a street vendor that was arrested for selling human meat at a street meat little stand. And
How do they spell meat?
I don't know. I didn't read it. I was listening. I'm more of an audio learner. But like the thing that got me was how do you find that out? You have to have somebody that eats enough human meat that when they go to the street meat stand, they're like, wait, this is people. This is like, left cap. This is what's going on here. And then they have to turn them in. How the stars have to align for that guy to get caught. I don't know.
Yeah, but have you had human before? I bet it's delicious. Not me though. I don't have a lot of fat.
I bet it tastes pretty close to
bet-
pork. I did when I was in high school. I observed a surgery, and this is kind of a messed up story. So like they tell you, like it was like when I was in anatomy class and I was observing this surgery, and they say like make sure you eat before you go in there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking of it. It was like it was like 9 a.m. I'm a high schooler. Like I just rolled out of bed. Like I'm not gonna eat until like lunchtime or so.
Yeah.
So like I go to this. I skipped the first bit of school because I was going to observe this surgery, and I get there, and while I'm there, they say, "Did you eat?" And I was like, "What? Fuck! Like, are they not gonna let me watch?" I was like, "Yeah, I ate. Yeah, sure, yeah, whatever." And they're like,
Of course I did.
They're like, "Do you want anything like a Snickers?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, what? I don't want a Snickers. This is getting weird."
Yeah.
So I go and like I observe this surgery, and it's gonna be they're removing something from a lymph node, right? So it's a pretty large person, right? They've got a lot of fat on their neck.
Yeah.
So they use this cauterizing needle. They start like using this cauterizing needle. I'm standing on like the left side, and like they're on the right side, and they're kind of like talking me through it. And there's like smooth jazz playing in the background, and
Classy hospital.
like this guy was legit, and he's kind of telling me what's gonna happen. And because I'm in anatomy, like it's all fresh. Like I'm like, all right, he's gonna do this to that part, and he's gonna be moving this around, doing that. I'm like, cool. Well, he makes the opening cut, and because this person is pretty big, a lot of this fat kind of like billows out like cauliflower. Like it looks like kind of like cauliflower emerging.
Gross.
And it's a cauterizing needle, so it's like there's no blood coming out. It's pretty cool how they do this. And like he was like, as he pulled it along, I took a whiff and it smelled like perfectly cooked bacon. And it's I don't know, something inside of me shut down, like it was horrified, and I couldn't speak. And like I turned to the lady on my left, and she just said, "Oh no." And I was like, and then apparently I was on the floor, and like I woke up 10 minutes later, and they were like, "You need to leave now." So like I crawled out of the room, and then like I'm sitting in the room outside. Like I was scrubbing my hands for probably 30 minutes, and I didn't touch anything in there. I don't know why. I was just compulsively washing my hands. And she comes out and tosses me an apple. And she's like, "Good try, but don't come back." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like there's a couple jobs now that I've ruled out. Like, anesthesiologist, not gonna be good for me.
So
So I don't think I could ever eat human meat. No.
So you didn't feel hungry whenever you smelled bacon after they cut that person open?
I felt like my stomach definitely was like there's food around, but my
Yeah,
brain
the biological urge.
but my brain said this is the most disgusting thing ever, but my nose said perfectly cooked bacon. And it was so confusing that I passed out, and it's the only time I've ever really just kind of like fainted or passed out in life. So like it's a thing I can testify that people do.
I've seen people faint getting shots, but they faint before the needle even touched their skin.
Yeah, I have an
Like
uncle
literally collapse and fall on the ground.
I have an uncle
It's crazy.
who can see blood, but if he sees his own blood, immediately passes out.
When I was a young child, I vaccinated little pigs.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck them with a needle and pushed in the medicine and shit. Like I did that before, so I don't think. It's like, well, if I can do it to the pig, I'm sure some pig could do it to me.
Yeah. Wait, you gonna have pigs sticking you with needles?
Yeah, Corman.
Oh. Oh, I've got another good story about that too. It's a boot camp story if you are so inclined. So there we are in boot camp, right? You're still feeling like fresh. I love the U.S. Like I just signed this paper to say that I would lay down my life for it, right? And
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in that mindset, and they're like,
you're so proud at the time.
And I'd gotten, you get the funk that first couple weeks. You get the funk, and you just can't shake it because like 80 people coming from around the world to like be in your compartment, you're gonna share some new germs.
You're all blowing each other.
Oh, definitely. Well, that's
oh wait, we didn't do that in boot camp. We didn't do that yet.
That was after boot camp. Anyways, so wait, where was I going with the story? What was I talking about? I lost it for a second there.
Getting sick at boot camp.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about pig sticking you, corn and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so like I'd gotten sick, right, real sick, like the flu. And, they give you a cold pack where they give you some ibuprofen and say change your socks. So I just gotten over that. And then they were like, hey, you want to give blood? Like, let's do a blood drive. And, of course, all of you are like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's get save lives. We got brothers over there dying and shit, right? We gotta donate. So they say, like, you can't be sick 72 hours beforehand. I was like, fuck that. I was sick 24 hours. It's fine. I'll just put it on the paperwork in the back like I did it. But I'm still going to give blood. So this guy, brand new, didn't, like, E1, like, schmuckty schmuck, was like, I'm gonna be doing your blood donation today. I'm like, cool. So I'm laying in the chair. And they gave me a magazine. And he sticks me and he misses. And I'm like, that's not a big deal. Like, I've got rolling veins. Like, it's happened before. A doctor has, like, missed once. And I'm like, that's cool. So he sticks me again. And I'm like, it's still cool. Like I'll give him like 3 more before I'm like, hey, like let's try the other arm, like, and then let's get someone experienced in here. On the third one, he like sticks it and he misses, and in his brain, he thinks I must be so close. Let me just twist this needle a little bit. So he twists it, right, and like immediately, I get cold, I get the sweats, and I'm like, this isn't good. But there's blood fill in the bag, right? So we're like, all right, we'll try and champ through this. And then like I get real woozy, and I like they lay me down back, and then like I stop bleeding into the bag, and he looks down and my arm's turning a little bit purple around the spot. He's like, "Oh, we should probably take this out." So then, so then like they take it out, right? They bandage me up, like he like tore it open, like what a dick, like not knowing what he was doing. And this guy, he's out there,
dude. Everybody knows you got to stick it straight in.
You got to stick it. Like you ask anyone who uses drugs, they'll tell you that. You can't be fishing for it. You
got to know what you're fucking about.
Exactly.
You got to stick that needle in that vein. God damn it.
So yeah, Corman's sticking you.
Have some goddamn confidence.
Yeah, I hope your viewership grew some stories that don't have a happy ending. That was shitty. I was in bed for 2 days after that because my arm was purple.
That's why we were nukes and not Corman, because we have goddamn confidence.
That's true. Although going back, being a corpsman wouldn't be a bad gig. It's like Scrubs out here. Everyone's hanging out.
Oh, dude,
fucking,
killing
and fucking. That's what they do, corpsman.
I had to go because whenever I got to boot camp, I was remarkably skinny from malnutrition, being poor, from being an idiot.
Yeah, that's why most people join. Yeah.
So I had to go get like some CT scans on my chest because they said I had like an abnormal amount of fat around my heart for like how much of a skinny bitch I was, pretty much.
Was it brown fat though? I heard that's good for you.
No, well, whatever. That was what they told me. They didn't give me like any doctor terms.
Sure.
It was like, hey, you got a lot of fat and shit around your heart. This is Navy
good.
Medical.
What have you been eating?
Mostly McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
What kind of McDonald's though? Like, are we talking like their salads
I
or like
would no. I
McFlurries?
normally just buy McChickens by the bagful or McDoubles.
Yeah, I'm definitely the fan of both of those sandwiches.
Yeah. Sometimes you put them together, get the McGang bang.
Yeah.
When you're feeling really froggy, you get a McFish.
Not all McDonald's know about the McGangbang. Secretly enough, like how many people know about this in the world? And there's some McDonald's employees that that's like when you go into the Navy, you're hoo-yah diggity. You gotta be all about that. But when you join McDonald's, you gotta be like, I know about the fucking McGangbang.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be in on the joke. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah, there's some McDonald's you ask for, and they're like, what? And you're like,
No, I always had to make it myself, and like I buy the two things, and then I put it together myself.
you never had a McDonald's like to make it for you?
No,
Really?
no.
Maybe I'm on the other side of this, and maybe I know enough McDonald's that do know the McGangbang that I think it's a thing.
Well, to me, it was always just
Interesting.
you're not supposed to talk
We
to
need
the
to get
McDonald's
your
guys.
your
Like, you can't
viewership
say,
to like tune in on this. Have you
you
had
can't say gang bang
Yeah.
McDonald's.
have you
know?
had McDonald's experiences where they've got the McGangbang on the menu?
Hey, are you looking for a gang bang in your mouth?
Yeah.
Why don't you come on down to
Come on
McDonald's?
down to McDonald's, do it Ronald style.
Yeah.
That's legit.
What if I got sued? This is all for performance art and parody.
What are you getting sued for? Being too awesome on the internet?
No, well, my sometimes tens of listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I got this semi-professional studio set up,
This
things
is
are going pretty good.
yeah, this setup in here, I was definitely I don't know what I was expecting, but this is legit. This is all right.
Yeah.
I kind of thought, I've watched obviously like Joe Rogan's podcast where he's got his whole like studio of crazy shit,
Yeah.
and then like you think how do
Well,
the rest of us do it? And it's like this is
You got to
cool.
start
This is
at the
still cool.
bottom. I'm literally at the bottom,
Yeah.
and
You've got tens. Most people out there have zero, so I think you're at least in the pond.
well, some people support,
Mm-hmm.
people in their community.
Which is good.
And I'm just using all this as a record of what an upstanding citizen I am for whenever I run for president.
Sure.
I'm far too young to be president now, Skyler.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Far too young.
You still what? Late 20s?
Late, deep into the 20s.
Deep into the 20s on the back end. That's all right
I'm
though.
paddling over the finish line.
So
of the
someone
20s.
someone told me that being in your 30s is like being in your 20s but with money, and I'm still waiting for the money bit. It's coming up
Hey.
soon. I'm waiting for someone to give it to me when like, hey, like this, you're in on it. You made it
Well-
this far. That's good. Why didn't you mic that? That was legit.
Well,
That was like MGM Lion level goodness.
I had the perch and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give it the correct posture and to just flow out.
Yeah,
It's like
it was good. You didn't hold back on that. You definitely were very statuesque.
that's because the second chair I have in my apartment is a weight bench.
Mm.
I also sit here and do homework, and then I'll do sit-ups whenever I'm tired of doing homework.
Yeah, it's
So I
very-
do a lot of sit-ups in between doing homework.
Sure. It looked like you'd have very, very toned abs under that shirt, that picnic shirt. We're in a pig shirt. Oh, look at that. Didn't even put that together.
It's all full. I got this shirt.
There's
For
layers
free
on this
as a
podcast.
gift.
There's layers.
We're audible layers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So what else, man? What's new? What's going on?
Well,
It's been like a
this-
month since we've had a hangout, man. Maybe longer than that.
Well, I'm a busy man. I'm a recluse.
Yeah, I see that.
We work opposite shifts.
We do. Like the stars have to align
Yeah.
for us to hang out.
I was considering going to the UNR Boise State game tonight,
Mm,
but then
that'd have been a fun one.
I figured I'd rather let's do podcasts. Fuck that
Yeah, man.
mainstream sporting event.
Thanks, bro.
I probably would have got sick.
Probably. UNR, they're like good, but I don't know. How'd they do? Anyone check it?
I have no idea. It's should be about over by now.
Hey, producer guy. Hey, producer guy. Pull up the score real quick. Pull up the score. We got a big operation here.
We got a crackpot team.
Oh, they're playing. They're playing right
analyst.
now. Second quarter, they're down 14-10.
Well, Boise State is supposed to be pretty strong team, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, Nevada, their logo's a wolf, and Boise State's is a horse.
I'm proud.
If this was Game of Thrones times, Nevada every day, all day. You know, that somehow some people pick.
But in contemporary times, if we get to go,
yeah, a horse can identify as a wolf, and a wolf could identify as anything else nowadays. So
yeah, like
you can't judge.
veganism.
You can't judge an animal by how it looks on the outside these days.
Do you think a wolf could ever be conscious enough to decide whether or not it wanted to be a vegan?
I would imagine probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah, 'cause that's stupid.
That's killer instinct, man. Like, why would you? Yeah. I don't think anyone who's ever, like, had a really good steak could say, like, I would rather not eat this. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I see animals. I see people walking around, and like, I'm not hungry enough to eat those yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, my girlfriend is a vegetarian. She's been a pretty staunch vegetarian since she was 7.
Yeah, I know.
Which makes dinner interesting.
Yep.
Makes it interesting. I don't know. I've thought about it a couple times, like, instead of like scrambling up tofu, throwing some beef in there, see if she knew what was going on. But that would be across many lines.
I respect.
Can't do that. Got to keep that one on the inside.
Yeah, I respect their choice to do that. I just when I look at how people evolved in our biology and shit, for me, I can eat meat, and it's delicious, and animals are delicious.
So what's your take on nutrition nowadays? Like, who's got the answer? What's the best way to eat?
Well, so the real answer to that question is depends.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone hates that answer. That's it.
But that's
the
how
one.
science works, man.
That's the answer, because
there's no fucking absolute to almost. I don't know of anything that's absolute besides my love for the ladies. But anyways, sidetracked.
Sure. Yeah.
But
can we get another one of these guys?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pause this real quick for
This
a
is a
read for a commercial break here.
Commercial break
All right. We'll be back
before I talk to Rapey. All right, bye-bye. And we are recording.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, shit.
I don't see. That's the thing. I think.
And we're live.
All right, we're back. So I think
We're not live. We recorded.
Yeah. Well, we're live at the time, right? Dimitri Martin
Yeah.
style.
Anyways,
Credits due.
we were just having an interesting.
Discussion about what presidency and power.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's get political up on this shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very general, like most politicians, but we're gonna get deep, like most politicians, into their mistresses.
That's right.
Yeah.
Deep into the lies.
So we're gonna do.
They get deep into, other men's penises probably with their mouths.
Yeah.
That's all made up. I apologize. I hope I didn't offend any politicians out there.
Yeah. God
You're not all
forbid.
cocksuckers. Just most of you are.
Just some of them.
Some
of them that are doing it for the wrong reasons. Then you got your Leslie Nopes in real life out there,
Oh, Leslie Nope.
just doing it up. being
Okay, dude.
servants.
Net neutrality.
Net neutrality.
That happened a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Things aren't in public as much as they were. But still, corporations haven't funneled traffic yet. Are they funneling traffic?
I think there's some bandwidth fluctuations happening.
I don't even know how to find that shit out.
Yeah, it's just yeah. It's one of those things you just gotta feel. Like, if some of like the bigger names are definitely like, how many times do you have a conversation next to your device, and then next time you go to your Google search, you type like half of a word that you've like I've never typed Afghanistan into Google search, but if I was talking about the war in Afghanistan for like a day and I typed AF into my phone, I bet you my first search is like Afghanistan war something.
Oh yeah, man, it's definitely listening.
So like there's that thing going on, because every time you click OK, you're just like, you give up every right. It's like in the print.
Yeah,
Don't
nothing.
quote me on that, but you can.
Everything is recorded.
Everything.
They gotta have proof of all. You know what they're doing? They're taking every single last piece of information that is collected, everything that is converted from, you know, our world into the digital world, is being put into a fucking database.
Yeah.
And is being considered by an algorithm, and that algorithm is basically AI, and that's how it's learning.
Mm-hmm.
It's using shit like preemptive multitasking.
So that's okay. So that's going on, right? We're definitely in the new age of information. But do you know the only really gripe I have with, you know, the Facebooks and the Instagrams and everyone that's collecting this enormous amount of data that's never before been compiled? It was best described by, I cannot remember the doctor's name. We'll have to look that up later. But he was a guest on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's a PhD leveled social psychologist, and he says that if he could do it again, he wouldn't go into the world of academia. He would go work for a company like Facebook because they've collected more in the world of social psychology than he could ever dream to know, and they're keeping it private because it's helping make them money. And
Dude.
I heard that and I was like, dude, that clicks, because like that's so bullshit. Like who's benefiting from that? Just Facebook, you know, just the single, and they're competing with each other. If they open source that, how quickly would our world turn from like being like super competitive people to like having like a oneness about us, because we'd know so much about everybody, and like the findings you could gather from that. Like I feel like there should be, if you become the president and you just can stop with like the bullshit for a while, you should be able to hire like these teams of people that you can just be like, I need to learn about this, and like what's the best route forward? What does America think? And they should just be able to like call them up, and then within 30 minutes they're like, boom, all right, this is what the people want. Like this is probably the best course forward for America. You should be able to have that kind of power, but you don't. Facebook does. They've got that kind of power.
Yeah, man. It has that kind of power for
A couple people
good ideas.
people buying ads on Facebook have the power to like warp an election.
Dude, all this stuff coming out about these internet troll farms using Facebook, and these people, it was real people also. They probably have AI that can do this too. They can just fill out forms with specific information, tag some pictures into it, and then post it into
click on a box after a squiggly I'm not a robot. I think they've made robots that can do that now.
Yeah, man, they're putting that, and they
That's
put that shit in Tinder and
CAPTCHA.
Bumble.
They can do CAPTCHA better than people.
All these sites and shit that young people using to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got all these fucking data collection scams and shit in that.
Yeah. Remember when it used to just be, you've got a lost cousin who's now the Prince of Zimbabwe, and if you send him 5,000, he can send you 10 billion in the email, and the spam email. That was it. That was the fucking worst, because then they got so many people. Can you believe? Like old people would be like, really? Zimbabwe, you say?
Dude, when I was like...
Sounds like a country of wealth and hidden riches.
When I was like 11 or 12, I had my first email account. I got one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I read it. I was like... I was super naive, you know. I was a child.
It was an AOL account.
Yahoo. It was a Yahoo.
Basketball player 9785 9.
I think it was Pro Dude.
Pro Dude Skater Balls.
Pro Dude 2000 or some shit like that, you know.
Underwear Jockey Rider.
Buff,
maybe that was just me.
Buff Man, Bagwell's Tits 97, baby. No. But, yeah, I read one of those emails. I was like, this can't be real. But it's like somebody sent this to me, like somebody made this.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's real? What if dude, this is a fairy tale. What if I just got $10 billion in diamonds from some black cousin that I didn't know?
Bada bam.
You know?
That's it. Top of the world
fuck
now.
School. Like, I'm out.
It's better than the lottery. It's guaranteed.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't steal my parents' credit cards or anything and give them money.
Oof.
But it was a sweet fantasy for a short amount of time.
Yeah. What else was bad? Porn viruses. Those were the worst.
Viruses. Yeah, there's probably all kinds of videos of me jerking off on the internet already.
I think so.
Go ahead, blackmail me. I dare you. I could use the publicity.
Yeah. Any news is good news, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to be talking about how we're going to save the government, man.
Oh, yeah.
Not through violence.
No.
We're not speaking out against
I think it was
the American
through
government.
that concept of you should be able to gather so much information as the president that you can't make the wrong call. Like it's still one guy, and there's so many more people now than there ever were.
The whole system is corrupted. Let's not be all controversial or paranoid about it. I'm pretty sure. I think it's ubiquitous that American politics are corrupted. Right? We need to figure out a fucking new way that is more involved on the internet. Everybody that is a citizen that has like a social security number should be able to be a part of some way to make their yes or no for a specific subject. That was not as good as earlier. But anyways, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here.
There is though. I mean, like you can like write your congressman, but it's like so antiquated. Like that needs to be updated. And I think, you know, Elon Musk has a thing where he's got that site that like rates news reporters like credibility, and I think you should have that also, like punch it up and make it for millennials and Gen Zers, you know, something on the internet that says like, hey, your politician, and like, you know, this is like their track record and how they voted, and you know, I'm sure they like little almost like baseball cards or something like that. But that'd be super easy to do. But the problem with like so having a two-party political system isn't really the greatest, because it's a this versus that when most people are like fucking in the middle on like every fucking issue, you know, and it's, you don't have to be so fucking like bipolar on everything. You can't like guns but also want to let women control their vaginas, you know.
I think a really good start would be taking all this organized religion bullshit out of it, and we can look at everything as what's right or wrong for people as individuals, and not.
I mean, you've technically got separation of church and state, but then you've also got political parties are the ones that are appointing justices of the Supreme Court. So, like, they're trying to push an agenda. They're not trying to, like, make
this whole fucking Kavanaugh thing is bananas.
It's crazy.
I just watched the SNL take of it earlier. That was pretty funny. But
yeah, that was good. I mean, they're always good. They always kill it on SNL. I'm a big fan.
So, somebody comes out. This man sexually did something, assaulted me or molested me in high school. Man. I'm not saying that's right. I just wish he would have been like, yeah, you know, I did it. It was wrong. I learned from my actions, but I moved on.
But so everyone's getting right. So this Donald Trump is such a fucking genius, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Like everything is gonna be a dog and pony show with his presidency, right? But so you get caught up in the fact that he's such a shitty person. Like you don't know, like how did they get pushed through? I don't. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh my god, this, oh my god, that, and there's so much that you're just like, wait, this needs to stop. But like, no, you get pulled in so many fucking directions that next thing you know, they're signing the paperwork and things are happening, and then the fucking dog and pony show is going through his speech, and you're just like, wait. We didn't finish this one yet, and the next thing you know, what's happening, and you're like, wait, hold on a minute, but it's too late. It's just you keep it moving. And
he's
then,
up there on the cuff.
And then he's about to. I bet you he's gonna come out with some weird shit to say about this fucking hurricane that just hit. Like, oh, Florida, I hope you don't float back to Cuba, and we got to build a wall above you. You know, some stupid shit, right? And then we're gonna be like, well, we're gonna forget about it, and then he's gonna be sitting on the Supreme Court for at least like 20 more years, 20 more like legit years.
Yeah, that's a lifetime thing.
Are you kidding me? Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. And then we're just going to move on, and it won't be a thing. It won't be a thing.
There's a lot of broads out there I know that are concerned about his stance on women's rights when it comes to pro-life and such. Abortion is because apparently there's undertones of him now that there's going to be conservative majority. They're going to overturn the legality of aborting.
What's the current Republican stance on abortion right now?
I believe, as a community, the Republicans are not for abortion.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, Well, not like the people that identify as Republicans might be both way,
They're
but they say they're
pro-choice.
Republicans. The people in power are definitely pushing pro-life laws. But
I support the killing
the
of all
the point of that is
things.
like now Justice Kavanaugh, that's fucking stupid. He gets the like if like they're gonna like repeal, like there's been like weird talks about repealing Roe v. Wade because like now they might have a majority to do that, and like how fucked up would that be? Like they can just do that, right? But that's
Yeah.
but
can
that's
change
that's
laws.
democracy. That's how it's supposed to fucking
Yeah.
work. But the fact that we have this two-party political system is kind of that's really the issue. Like the people that are in power now were relevant people 30 to 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's always the case. What they knew growing up, right? Like what we have is nostalgia of like PlayStation and playing outside when the fucking streetlights turn on, you come inside. Like that's like your nostalgia as a kid. Like if you come into power 30 years down the road, that's you're thinking about, right? Because that was the time when you're like this is what needs to happen. You become out of touch as you grow older because kids are not, they're always evolving, right? Things are always moving forward. And by the time that you are in charge of shit, you're so out of it. But like, and you almost have to like be a ringleader, or like you need to hire like a team of ringleaders in this country at least to be like, hey, like, well, I guess you'd call it your fucking cabinet, right? But that's not what this shit is anymore. It's friend party. But like you need like the smartest fucking, like they designed it to work as you put the best person in charge, you put the best people around him, and you try and just figure shit out, right? Like there's so many like constitutional laws.
There are going to be mistakes.
There's going to be mistakes, but things should always be evolving. Like I like the old adage of like if George Washington came back today, he'd be like, "What the fuck? Like, well, I wrote this with a quill, back in the day." Like that's kind of how I think. Because when you get there, this is what you know. You know the laws that are currently in place, or like well, I mean, if you're a career politician, you know the lines you've been told to say. So you're trying to get things amended that way rather than taking a collective, like, what's the best move, and then moving forward from there. And most people, like, they might have these thoughts, like, when they're stoned in their 20s, they're like, yeah, man. But then by the time they get 60 and they've been fucking scrabbling for 40 years to get there, they're like, fuck it, I gotta stay here, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I've wanted to be. I want to do things, and maybe I'll get one thing done while I'm here, but I need to stay. And like you forget it, and then the next cycle happens, and the next thing you know, a couple hundred years pass, and you still got the same constitution.
I think that society's gotten to the point to where we're almost to the point of the rats clinging to a floating log. They're like stowaway rats on a sinking like pirate ship. And there's like a burning log, and there's like all the rats are trying to get on the same log. Not all of them can fit on it, but they're clawing and trying to get on that shit.
Yeah, and I think you could even go deeper and be like they're always trying to climb up, but the water keeps moving up.
Yeah,
like they're always getting higher, and the water's getting higher, and they're just like fuck, like perpetually just trying to stay above water.
And there's sharks in the water that are bloodthirsty for rats.
And getting bigger and bigger as technology advances. Oh man.
Well, it's a rat race.
It is. That's what they call it. That is what they call it. Always climbing to the top. The top of what?
Shit. I just figured out what rat race means.
The top of what?
Top of this dick.
I'll take a turn.
That's that was inappropriate. I did not sexually assault any rats.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had to clarify that. Maybe there were some people out there on the edge, haven't listened to your previous, like maybe he...
It's always good to have a questioning attitude.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah,
there's some things you don't want just hanging out there. There's some things you need to ensure you have record of being like, I go on record saying this. I've never molested a rat.
I've never molested a rat.
Does touching a naked mole rat count, like, anywhere?
Yeah, because they're naked all the time. Like
naked.
If they have
it's
a shirt on
and
you touch their shoulder.
Their name. Yeah, if you put some clothes on them.
Yeah.
Get them a little Harry Potter knit R sweatshirt like Ron Weasley and have him wear that around.
Yeah, staple a wand to its paw.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
How say
Scabbers
politics and
2.0,
rats?
I guess. Yeah, politics
The
and rats, they go hand in hand, paw and
yeah,
paw.
we're really bad at politics, I think.
You know, I don't think. I think I don't know. This could be one of those things where common sense, if you have it in
Yeah,
abundance, you
we're
don't you
chock
don't you
full of
don't need to.
goddamn sense.
If you know, like, so yeah, like fixing things. I like fixing things. Definitely a big fixer, right? So having that mentality of like fixing them up, like whatever, like a car or whatever it is, fixing things. You know how to like approach a problem. You come up with a methodology, like a troubleshooting technique of your own.
Yeah,
So you don't have to be the pro on the issue. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're president, you can be like, what's the like the pro-choice versus pro-life? Like,
yeah.
what is the question? Where do people think life begins? Right? You can gather that data, and if
The
they
Trump
say,
method. Get to the
and
bottom of the goddamn swamp.
so like that's like having an abortion at 3 months is like, why? I wish I knew how they came up with that. Was it like before a heartbeat or something? But how that's like how that's the number. I think I would
Yeah.
want to review that at least so, like I can learn it. Like you could even learn shit. Like just if Donald Trump right now spent his day instead of watching Fox and Friends was like, hey, like science, where like how does like the how do you grow? Like where's the point where you would
Science.
consider
What
and
you
poll
talking about?
scientists, like people that have Facebook profiles. Like bam, like where do the leading minds think on this, and then kind of like move forward. Like if that's where the science is,
Yeah.
move forward from there. They're like, oh, at 6 months, you start getting brain activity. And you're like, oh shit, brain activity. Okay, well, 5 months should be the new thing. And then you'd be like, before 5 months, not a person. After 5 months, brain activity. Something like that. Like
Well,
have it defined. Why is it 3 months? I don't know. Maybe that's just something that I would want to know for myself. Your people could let you know and tell me why 3 months.
I think
Because it's small enough to fish out with a coat hanger. Is that why?
I think we should consider abortion at ejaculation.
Hmm.
Just so we can desensitize our thoughts of
I think they make.
how important life is,
Yeah.
and if that bitch is about ready to pop, you just suck that sucker out. She don't want it.
That's the moment right then, huh? In the moment.
Well, it's an
when
unfortunate.
most
It's a
people
terrible
are
thing.
probably drunk, both sides.
It's a terrible thing. A dead baby is not a nice thing.
Yeah.
But there's 7 billion people. It's gonna be okay. Life goes on. Time goes on. Sure, it's sad, but
it's
fast and
weird.
loose.
It's weird when people are like, oh, like the birth rate's out of control, but you think like as a species, that's what we were designed to do.
Root
Like
cause.
you were up until like what the 14, like maybe the 1600s, you were trying to have like 7 kids, so like 3 would make it to be able to have kids of their own.
Yeah,
Like
but
4,
dude,
you'd be like, oh, this one died of the frost because we didn't have enough blankets. And like that's cool. That's fucking dinner for winter.
dude, look at the root cause though. How did this unwanted pregnancy occur? Like what fucked up thing happened, or what part of life happened that caused this person to get pregnant, and now they don't want to have a baby?
Yeah.
Like what happened? I
I
mean,
mean,
there should be.
is there a scale like of what happened as to whether they should be allowed to let it out? See, you as a man
see,
trying to decide
as a
what's going on in a
man?
woman's vagina, like I was doing with the 5 to 6 month thing. I just moved it back a little bit so they had more time. I was on the lady side. Start small, right? Small steps to get to a big future.
Small steps. But
President.
I will never have to know what it's like to carry a
36,
person inside of
something.
me. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for what women want.
Are you kidding me? All day I got a factory going on. Like like sperm aren't that smart, so like we got to work hard to make these guys all day. That's why the slightest touch, the slightest skew in the operation of making these sperm it shuts us down. We got to be like, hold on, I've got 5. My quota is 500 million. Do you understand? That's just today. I just woke up today and I have 500 million.
Dude,
I've got, and then you're gonna beat out
you have to
twice.
make.
You might fucking double my quota. And I swear to God, if you do it again this week for the 4th time,
Hey, you got to make the seed that sprouts life.
yeah,
And you got to collect genetic information for that seed. And
and they're all
you
different.
gotta
They're all
get out
different.
there and collect that genetic information.
Just think, like you have the sperm of a fucking Olympic athlete. But
Well, I don't think I do.
99,
But
99.9. No, you've got one. There's one in there. Every day you make an Olympian. Every fucking day. I know it. I know every single dude makes a fucking Olympian. One every day, and it's in there. But like 99.99% of the population of dudes are a bunch of bitches. So that one never makes it. It never makes it. You fucking
man.
don't you think you got to think that like boom when she's like I'm pregnant. You're like I hope this fucker pays for my future. You know, like
Well,
this is the
yeah.
one.
There better be a payoff
This
for raising
is-
this fucking asshole kid.
This is the fucking. It could be
yeah.
Mary Curie. You know, we don't have to stay gender fucking male. You know, we can. It could be the next human and then next thing you know, you just get
Yeah.
fucking me.
Be the
And
next
it's
Claudia
like, what
Schiffer.
the fuck, man? And like I come out and you're like, damn it, shit! I tried so fucking hard. I made one of those every day, and I got this guy. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents
And then,
raised
but then,
me, and
but then you grow up and you're like, dude, I got a fucking Olympian in me. You know, and the cycle continues. And you that's why you have 7 of them, because the first 6 weren't. And you're like, this next one, dude, like, she's had 6. She's primed. The hips are ready. No complications. This one's going to fucking shoot out, ready to go.
yeah, these suckers are just walking out.
Dude. And then none of them. Or you get the Gronkowskis. Bam, bam, bam. That guy, he's a fucking animal. He's like, I make
Yeah.
3 Olympians a day, and I fucking scoot the rest of them out. Then bam, those 3 got to duke it out. But I know it's going to come out as either it's going to be a pro baller.
That's good if you have the energy to I've met people, I'm not gonna name names, that have been really, really great parents. You
Mhm.
know, and that's great.
Yeah.
Whenever I look at what I think a great parent should be, I think I never want to have kids ever because I would be a really shitty parent.
Compared to that, yeah. Dude, I have that all the time. Like, if I was, like, what if you get bored? You know, like, you're like, this kid's like 2, having some tantrums. She's like, I don't want to fuck. I'm sure you have that thought, but, like, that's not
Yeah,
the good
I don't have
thoughts.
time to make this bitch a PowerPoint to explain why she's an idiot right now.
Because most mothers will just be like, what are you talking about? Like, that's my kid. And, like, I would not. I don't think I'd share that sentiment 24/7. I think that would make you like a shitty. Because, like, you kind of like, well, not you. I can't say you. I got to speak for me. I would, like, think on that as, like, maybe my kid got older and I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, at, like, 2, I was ready to punt you out the window.
Yeah.
You know, like, just for a week, but, you know, who knows? Maybe that was only
No,
1 week.
that's I think from the single moms, the many, many single moms that I've known.
respect to single moms.
I love the
they're-
single
They're a
moms.
different breed.
They often fantasize about murdering their children.
Yeah,
But
sure.
it's just it's just a fleeting thought. It just makes you chuckle a little bit.
That's why even in
But you really love them with
Yeah.
every piece of your soul. But sometimes you just want to pitch that sucker over the balcony, you know?
Yeah. I could, I'm pretty good at controlling those intense urges I would get, but what if just once you just shook a little too hard? You just, you're just
Dude.
like a toy that wouldn't turn off. And you're like, I don't have a nipple, but I need to, like, or I would be the other way, and I'd be like, all right, like, I'm going to give you a drop of whiskey. I know you're, like, 5 days old, but you're fucking loud, and, like,
Yeah.
and I'm going to rub it on your gums.
That's
'cause
what
I
my
heard that-
parents told me.
I heard that's a thing, so, like, we're going to give it a shot with you. I'm sure you'll be fine, because you've got fucking Olympian DNA.
Yeah.
Until
I'm
you
not going
prove
to
me wrong at 2 and you can't walk yet.
I'm not gonna
we'll get there.
I'm not going to spoil you completely yet.
Yeah. I think my parents must have thought I had some good shit going on because I could read before I could read. Like, I'd like to have my mom read me the Jungle Book, and then, like, I was just, like, talking, and then I would be, like, looking at the pages, and I'd go word for word. And I'd be like, they're probably like, this fucking kid, moneymaker right here. And then I just turned out to be a Navy nuke. Never, in their eyes, probably realized my full potential. I could have been a
You
cow.
are, this whole potential thing.
Yeah.
Hey, we're achieving our full potential right now.
Think so?
You know?
Think we're living our best life?
I think I'm living my best life. I fuck up a lot of times.
Yeah.
Sometimes I sit around when I'm super high and I'm like, am I doing something that's worthwhile? And then I come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter because the world could end, or
Yeah.
how about I just focus on me? How can I be a better person day
Yeah.
by day?
Have you had the existential crisis phase yet? I had like a week of just
No,
like,
I have existential crisis
yeah.
almost every day. You know, it's 'cause I have a really good questioning attitude.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
question everything, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I'm not sad that I
I think it
question
comes in
my
waves, right?
existence. I'm not sad that I don't understand the nature of reality. You know, it's 'cause I'm a
Mm.
stupid monkey,
Right,
and I'm just
right.
happy, dude. I'm just happy I'm alive.
In like 1,000 years, not 1,000, I gotta think longer than that. Like, oh, it's so hard to think. Like 50,000
Dude,
years, we're gonna be, on the scale where they've got the fucking fish turning into like the thing. We're just there's gonna be like 7 steps after us, and like,
my parents just do not realize what Grand Theft Auto 5 means for my generation.
that's true.
Like that is like to me, and how I don't really play video games anymore, but I used to a lot.
Yeah.
And
I
to
used-
me,
also
like
used to be a
Grand
big
Theft
gamer.
Auto was the ultimate, like how to immerse yourself and to like do whatever, to take out all your murderous, this awful like ideas, you know?
Yeah.
Because you don't have to play the game. You can rampage.
You literally, yeah, and the older ones, you could put in a cheat code to up your stars just so you could
Yeah, just
have
so you can bring on the fucking
FBI's
heat.
and yeah, just so you could go killing people, just on a
Yeah,
on
man.
a on a spree, and you were happy the whole time. You're like, oh fuck, am I gonna take this motorcycle? I can take this Chico for this
Dude.
tank and just run over cop cars. And you're
Dude,
just
you start the game like, I wonder how many people walking down the pier at the beach right now. I bet I can get an SUV
Yeah.
and take out at least 50
at
people in 10 seconds.
least,
Just
at
watch their
least.
bodies flying
Oh,
the lampposts and shit.
it was-
And I was so, dude, the people that made that game, the Rockstar fellers.
mhm.
And then
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, October
That was- I
26th.
was such a big fan of
I'm
Red
going to
Dead
play video games
Redemption.
again because of that game.
Yeah, it was Grand Theft Auto Wild West. It was good.
Dude, you could lasso people, throw them
Yeah.
over your horse, and then drop them
Just-
onto the
yeah.
railroad track and just
Yep.
wait for the train to come hit them.
It's deep. How long would you wait? How long would you wait?
Dude, sometimes you have to wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
20 minutes. Just sitting there watching them.
Dude, you have to have perseverance to have a train run somebody over in a Wild West video game.
I think you would also need to have that same perseverance in being a serial killer in real life.
Well, I
Unless you-
considered that avenue, but
Uh.
I'm far too pretty for prison.
Yeah,
I would
don't
get
think
raped like I would get, as soon as I stepped in the door, it would just be a rape party on my asshole and my mouth. I can't go to prison. Dude,
yeah,
I walk the straight and narrow. I don't go to prison.
Mhm. Yeah, I couldn't do it either.
Because what if I liked it, you know?
I've watched a lot of prison shows.
Yeah, I don't think I would like it. I think it would be a fucking living nightmare, hellish fucking existence.
You see, I think I'm smart enough that I would be able to just kind of stay out of it. Every now and again you get scuffed up because people get bored when there's fucking nothing else to do. But
Yeah.
I think for the most part, I would be able to just navigate my way to where they're just like, oh, like he just sits there, just does his own. He reads books. What do? You get a law degree? Isn't that what most people do? Because I bet the most innocent people do. They're looking up shit about their case all the time.
If you're gonna use
But
it,
I bet you could hang out in the library a lot if you were like, yo, like not if,
yeah.
or like you get books in your cell. I guess if you're a serial killer, you're not going to the fucking
I
library.
have no idea
You're probably hanging out in your cell.
from my personal experience what prison is
Probably,
like.
probably get a lot of writing done.
You
know?
could probably do a lot of writing in
You could
prison.
probably get a lot of writing done.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you watch a lot of news.
Hopefully you got a decent amount of experience.
That would be just, I think,
before you got locked up, so you could do some writing about it.
yeah, I think if you look at it in the most positive light, it would be the best way to focus on getting your thoughts out there to the public. It would be your best. You'd have,
So get a really good idea.
yeah,
Go murder 10 children
10 of them.
so you can go to prison for life.
Hmm.
And then you can really focus on your craft, your
Yeah.
art,
Um,
your novel.
you could probably also just try and move a lot of cocaine. I think that would probably be the
And then
better
make
way.
a bunch of 10 children do
Like-
cocaine.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like if you go to Colombia, I'm sure you can have children do cocaine, no problem. But I think if
Yeah,
okay, so like I can't
I don't
obviously
want to
do
be
this now
tortured though.
because this is going to be usable against me in court if I ever do. But I think what I would do if I knew that I was like, all right, I got to go to prison for life because I got to focus on my writing career because I need to buckle down because I
Yeah,
just can't
priorities.
focus right now. So I got a bunch of shit going on. I would just get a big boat, yeah, and I would go down to like Colombia and I would fill it to the brim with cocaine. I would max out like everybody's credit card that I knew, and I'd probably have to do a little credit card fraud and open some big ones up to get money, and just buy as much cocaine as I could and try and move it back. Because one of two things is gonna happen: I'm either never gonna work again, and then I can really buckle down on my writing because I can focus on it, or I'm gonna go to jail for a very long time, and then I can write
Well, how do
a
you?
bunch of books about how I'm such a big drug kingpin and make a lot of money.
That doesn't.
Don Costora.
That is a very very interesting
But now I have to change up the game.
idea.
I have to change up the game.
But I think there's a lot of logistics we're not really digging into if we're gonna become cocaine, moguls.
And isn't it just like you get a boat and just roll down there and you pull up and you're like, hey, cocaine? I don't know if that's, I don't know.
Yeah, but then okay.
Coco.
So
just like find somebody.
say we achieve a mountain of cocaine
Yeah.
uh, via theft
One of us would
and
always
dealing
be on
with
lookout, right? Because you've got enough product to keep you
being
awake the whole trip back.
hanging out with Colombian cartels and
Mm-hmm.
or even just the foot soldiers that are just getting you the shit. Say you do all that,
Yeah, it would definitely be foot
and then you
soldiers
make
on
it
the
back
first
here
trip.
without getting captured by the
Mhm.
American government.
Yeah.
And then they take all your drugs and then probably use you for a sting operation that gets you shot in the face by a
Sure.
bunch of cartels or something.
I think I would choose the jail option if they got me.
Yeah. But
Other than
say none of that happens and you make it back here with a mountain of cocaine.
Yeah.
Now, how do you sell it?
I think the best way would
Those
probably be
goddamn snowboard
to
mountain
get.
savages.
I think you would just in this day and age have to just like get into rave culture and just just sell a couple $100 a day. Like you can't live like a king immediately until you find somebody who's like hooked on your goods.
I'd
But
like to start a new crack cocaine business.
yeah.
So basically, all my dealers would have to wait under a bridge. And then we would have a social media thing. It was like, hey, go under this bridge to get some crack cocaine. And then the special prizes
the crack
that,
bridge.
so
Drawbridge?
my dealer,
No, the crack bridge. It
my-
doesn't draw up. It's just the crack bridge.
my
Come on.
dealer will keep the crack cocaine in his asshole, and you have to fish it out with your
Wow.
mouth. And then you get it for free.
And you just do this just for entertainment, huh?
And this is
Just
all on
fucking-
television.
Yeah. Oh.
So
How you getting a TV deal? Where you
and-
finding this money? You selling the producers?
well, then after you get caught, after you get filmed and put on television of eating crack out of a person's asshole,
Mm-hmm.
the police arrest me for selling drugs, and then
How would they find? How
And
they
then
connected to
you.
you though? Would the ass crack dealing asshole fucking turn you in? Because that seems like you'd have some holes
Well,
in your operation at that point.
I imagine they would.
You think so? To cut a, do
Yeah.
you think they cut a deal
People
on
are
you?
cowards. They would
You
turn
need
me
to find
in.
better people, bro. You need like Denzel
Hey,
Washington's people.
Good help
in,
is hard to find. You
getting
know,
that. You could call it nude magic.
nude magic.
It's like almost trademark infringement, but kind of funny. Like nude magic. Like why is it nude magic? Because if
All
you
I want is a TV show
Not enough of this.
of addicts eating bags of crack
Maybe not.
out of dealers' assholes.
What channel? What channel?
True TV.
True TV. You think they pick that up?
Yeah,
Put it on after
it'd come
Cops?
on right after that Impractical Joker
Impractical.
show.
You think so? Or would you have to do like a mini show, like a 5-minute segment in a show, to just get the brand out there?
These are obviously my idea is not very well thought through either.
Huh? Well, if you were the fucking president and you wanted to make this shit happen,
I would have the
you could
resources.
you could figure it out. You'd be like, what's the best network to put this on? What do the American people think? And like the 100 people in America that were like, if I want to watch a show about ass cracking assholes, I want to watch it on Fox. I want to watch it on Fox Sports 1, FS1. And then you could just put a timer in the corner, just like a stopwatch from start to finish of each play and have commentators, and then boom, it's on FS1.
Season 2, steroids and crack.
You could, produced by Mark Brunell with 3 L's, because that's what our fake name will be, and people will be like, the guy from fucking Survivor. And you're like, yeah, that guy right there with an extra L. We're like, what do you mean an extra? Don't worry about it, just watch it. It's good shit. FS1.
It's real cutting edge.
Ass cracking assholes.
It really is. It's really peering into the soul of the modern day man and how they deal with their crippling drug addiction perpetuated by our pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, that's a deep one. You want to talk about pharmaceutical industry?
Dude.
I think if they were legit capitalists on the up and up, and they were good Christian capitalists like we know them to be, why wouldn't they just legalize everything and be like, fucking, you want in on this? Like, we got better shit than you.
Yeah,
and
let's make it the best we can. And
like what I'm saying. Like, was it Peru or Panama? One of the P countries down there legalized all drugs. Like, just decriminalized them all. They're like, you can whatever the fuck you want. And now like drug use and like overdose have gone down.
Sounds like Panama.
It's like a Central or Southern American country. You have to. Hey, producer guy, why don't you look that up real quick? Hold on, we'll get in on this.
There's a country where all drugs were decriminalized and addiction rates went down.
The producer guy.
Weird.
Good, yeah.
But it sounds pretty logical to me that if you don't make something dangerous or taboo or against the rules, then then it won't be so glamorous. Take away the sexiness of it.
Yeah.
And then
people
will do it less.
Portugal. Fuck, I was so wrong. Portugal.
Dude.
14 years after
like
decriminalizing all drugs. Here's what it looks like. Oh man, they dropped their war on crime. If you're found in the possession of less than a 10-day supply of anything, from marijuana to heroin, that's such a. Why is that the range? From marijuana to heroin, is that the extremes?
It's relative to that person's consumption.
Hold on. Yeah, there's so many things wrong with this. If someone is found in the possession of less than a 10-day supply of anything from marijuana to heroin, that's just the first bit. Hold on. So 10-day supply is definitely relative because, like, I could smoke a lot of marijuana in 10 days, given the opportunity.
What if 10 people live in that house, Is it 10-day supply for everybody in the house?
Oh, I don't think you can get away with that. It's probably for you. It's probably a single person. Unless you're, like, in the house and there's the residents are there.
10 roommates. It's on the lease.
If you're in possession, though, like if it's on your body, if it's in the lease and it's in the place, I'm sure you.
I guess we're talking two different.
There's lawyers that can deal with this. But, from marijuana to heroin, what does that encompass? What does that not encompass?
I guess there's.
Hey, team of experts.
What they're saying right there is,
God, it's so
marijuana is
just today. How many things would you learn as the president if you had a team of people? You could be like, snap your fingers. I need to learn this so I can be a better guy. Or would they be like, you should know this already, dum-dum?
I feel like if he was a guy that said, I already know this and I don't need to research it, that would be incredibly problematic.
That's probably what Donald Trump does, though. I mean, he's the guy.
He's fucking 70 years old.
He knows
what the fuck.
Yeah, he's encroaching.
He's not trying to learn anything. He's a wise old man. Why the fuck would he learn anything new?
What was 50 years ago? 68? Is that right?
50 years ago is 2018.
Oh.
68 is right. Dude, your math is fucking impeccable.
It's on point. Yeah, that's his shtick. 1968, that era, late 60s, late 70s. That's where he lives. That's what he's preaching right now.
Yeah.
Crazy, but anyways, yeah, marijuana.
Successful
to heroin.
man, beautiful, successful man.
So yeah, marijuana to heroin. Some designer drugs.
So they're saying that marijuana is
the soft.
The softest, and heroin is the hardest.
The hardest.
Drug. Well, that's a bold statement right there.
So, like, what about crocodile?
What the fuck is crocodile?
From Russia, remember the big crocodile craze? They're saying is like heroin, but 1,000 times more addictive because then no one knows how to use times.
Well, like fentanyl.
Oh,
That's what we have in
fentanyl.
America.
Yeah, fentanyl. I don't
It's
think
fucking
I could.
dude. That's what killed Michael Jackson and Prince.
I have such like an addictive personality. I would lose it. There's no way. I couldn't try it.
When I was in boot camp, you know, you always talking with
I
all
digress.
the cool guys about
Yeah.
who did all the cool drugs and stuff. I remember this dude, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I shot up some heroin one time. It was the greatest. I only did it once because it was fucking amazing. It was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I literally laid down on this bed and felt like I was floating on a fucking cloud in the fucking stars and shit. And it was just the best high ever. And that's why I'm never doing it again." I was like, man, that makes me never want to ever try heroin.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way you can come back from that.
Not that I was particularly curious.
I'm sure
but
some people can control it, but I would not. There's no way. I'd be in it to win it, and then I'd have.
I'm catching that fucking dragon, man.
Yeah, I'd have a really clever sign at probably a pretty good corner in town. That'd be my shtick, you know, because that'd be all I have left. I'm a pretty smart guy. I'd find a way for people to give me money, so I can keep the party rolling. All right, marijuana, heroin. What have we got there? Someone's found 10 days. He or she is sent to a 3-person commission for the dissuasion of drug addiction, typically made up of a lawyer, a doctor, and a social worker. Okay, so you get sent to a commission that's made up of a lawyer, a doctor, and a social worker. They recommend treatment or a minor fine. Otherwise, you're sent off without any penalty. A vast majority of the time, there's no penalty. If they find you, if you got drugs, they're like, all right, you go talk to these people. And if you're just like, yeah, I smoke weed when I get home from work because
yeah. So if you're responsible,
it's a quick way to relax.
law-abiding drug
Yeah.
user,
Yeah.
you can do so in the privacy and peace of your own home.
The doctor would be like, you're not hurting anybody. The lawyer would be like, you're cool. And the social worker would, well, I don't know. And
The social worker would be like, "Give me your kids and here's some
Yeah.
food stamps."
That's what I see. It's weird. I had that same thought when I said social worker, but I was like, that can't be. That's not what they do because some of them are probably the nicest people in the world, but like maybe they.
That's incredibly ignorant of me to say that.
No, but
I apologize.
there's probably some of them that are fucking dirty people.
Oh yeah, that social worker guy and that the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Like they always wanted to fuck their mom, and so they became a social worker to separate sons from mothers because they didn't want anyone else to go through that shit. Like,
can't believe my mom.
I'm sure that he exists. I'm sure he
believe-
fucking exists.
Can't believe my mom teased me by letting me suck on her tits and then not letting me fuck her when I was a baby. That's probably what those guys are thinking.
That's funny.
Man, I'll show them. I'll become a social worker, and then I want to rape all the young girls because of my mom.
Dude, he exists too. He fucking exists too. That's the thing.
Oh man.
And that's where my mind goes when I think about that, because I'm sure like you're dealing with not ma and pa 1950s America, right? So you're dealing with the things that are not made in the media or like looked highly upon. So you can kind of get away with whatever the fuck you want on the fringes, and no one is there to call you on your bullshit.
Oh, dude.
Because no one cares, because everyone's fucking trying to look like Angelina Jolie. This is America. This is why we love it.
She does have some big ass titties.
Yeah. That's the fucking,
Yeah,
that's the
that's-
shit.
That's the.
And you can just, if you were such a skeezy person, dude, how do you ever get caught? There's so many ways. So many ways you can get away with whatever the fuck you're trying to do.
All you have to do is watch that show Dexter, and then you can become the best serial killer ever. Like, okay, I just gotta murder strangers.
That have done me wrong. Wow.
Well, no, make sure they're good people or something too. You know, we gotta.
You got to keep up the portfolio, I guess. Like, they have to really hate you or really love you. You can't just. She had brown hair and she was walking down the street, and I got the urge. Like, you can't just do that, because then they're like, "What? What's
Well,
your
no, you have to-
point? What is your artistry in that? You know?
You have to be completely Picasso about it.
You
know?
absolutely.
You have to go down to the Burger King and then.
Picasso was very self-portrait. He had a
And then-
self-portrait phase towards the end. So would he be like?
I'm just saying, like, all
I kill all dudes that
abstract
look
and
like me.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, you go to the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese with a bear trap on Tuesday. And then
If you
Friday, you go
if
to
you
the
ever wanted to
sushi
be internet
restaurant.
famous, that's a route.
I mean, there's all kinds of
Could you
ways
imagine
to
the
be.
nicknames that would you come up with that? Like a bear trap and a ball pit at McDonald's. Oh.
Yeah, that's a place where you go with bear traps. Did you know
Crazy.
if you're at the ball pit in Chuck E. Cheese with a bear trap, statistically, that is the worst place in the world that you could have a boner? I did a survey once in power school when we're, on T-track, like in
Yeah.
between watch relief.
Oh, sure.
And
You guys on 12/24s, the good stuff.
yeah,
Oh, fuck that.
and then we were doing
That's the
this
worst part of my
game.
that was the worst part of my naval career. That was it. T-track on
man.
12/24s.
So we
If
were
you were there,
we're
you'd
doing
know.
surveys, and one of
Yeah.
the surveys was worst place to get a boner. And there's a tie between inside of a bear trap and the ball the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
So together they make the worst place
Oh.
to have a boner. Inside of a bear trap.
Wow.
That is American tax dollars at work.
That's
right there.
good. You put some thought into that one.
Hey, we were watching the building where people were,
Storing nuclear power secrets.
learning about nuclear power. We learned about it too, but it was our turn to clean toilets and watch the doors.
Yeah.
You gotta do.
Make sure nobody could get in and study after hours because they didn't try and cram a 4-year education into your brain in 6 fucking months.
Hey man, it shows you that there's levels to shit. Like, hey, yeah, you're here because you think you're hot shit because you got in the nuke program because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
He's gonna be working on nuclear reactor and shit.
but compared to everyone else, you're a turd. Always.
I was no goddamn turd, goddamn it. I'm just saying is that, hey, it's one time you're learning about electronics and mechanics and all this shit. And then there's a time where you're standing at attention in front of doors, checking IDs, and
Yeah.
cleaning toilets.
Like that
You know?
that whole shtick. Sorry, I gotta move this around real quick. That the more you get removed from NNPTC, the more you realize how much like a fucking movie or how crazy was that? Like that whole thing where they're just like, wear your fucking uniform, march into this building, learn for 8 hours about how to operate a fucking naval nuclear reactor, and you just get crammed knowledge. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna do 5 more hours of fucking school a day, doing your homework and studying this shit.
One day,
And if not, you're a shithead.
so my first chief in A school, he's a real fucking hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy, no names, but he's a real fucking hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
But one day he walked in and they assigned the class, the class leader, the master at arms, the fucking blah blah this and that. Basically the leadership trifecta, the chief assigns. But one day a chief walked in, and the master at arms was sitting cross-legged on top of a desk, just chatting up some chick.
Mm.
I hate to be sexist about it, but that's what he was doing.
Sure.
And boy, howdy, the chief get pissed off. So we got put on standing order quiet.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean,
standing ordered quiet,
Yeah.
not just ordered quiet.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, ordered quiet is where you're not allowed to talk. It's literally giving grown warfighters the fucking silent treatment for 8 hours a day. That's no fucking joke. You are not allowed to talk.
No.
Standing ordered quiet. You don't have a desk.
And then
You're
you're doing schoolwork in there.
You have like a very desk, but you always have it on up, and you don't get a medicine ball to sit on. You just are up, and you can't talk.
Standing, doing homework, doing equations, solving shit, writing logic circuits.
Are we
No
allowed to talk
talking.
about standing order quiet? Like, is that a secret, or are we like
No,
That's-
it's
these are the people operating your fucking nuclear power?
disciplined,
nuclear- yeah.
war fighting, goddamn men and women.
No talking. Oh, sorry, that was kind of loud. Sorry, we'll have to we'll fix that out. I was getting a little excited there. No talking. Sorry, I was going deep into myself. I have some
Yeah.
flashbacks of ordered quiet. It really fucks with you. Like, I can see how, like, whenever I give my girlfriend the silent treatment, she gets really mad. I can see that because for a week, and it's always a week, right? Or more. It's a week, or they make it 2 weeks. But it's at least a week.
Yeah. I never really lived with another woman, so I'm glad that you get to experience
Oh,
that.
I was talking about standing over quiet. I wasn't talking about the silent treatment with my girlfriend. She would have killed me within a week. You just seen
Oh
me
yeah,
on.
yeah. No, yeah, it's standing order quiet.
Yeah.
It was silly. It was one of those silly things,
It
but
was
it
so
taught
silly.
you
It's
that
so silly.
you have to pay the fuck attention and do what you're told, And then if you want to make a difference,
That's
do it in
discipline,
the right way.
ladies and gentlemen, without spanking.
Yeah, that's a real mind fuck.
The creek.
That was what I'm sitting on, that creek.
Oh, all right. I felt it in my toes.
I'm just perched up here,
Yeah.
exacting my judgment upon those who I deem.
It looks kind of comfortable. It's kind of comfortable
And
little
what makes me have
workout bench.
some sort of a straight-backed posture,
It's gonna be good for you later on. Whereas I'm a chronic huncher. Make myself rounded.
There's something that's real comfortable about a nice hunch.
And then especially like I used to do it a lot when I would wrestle, and I think it's because I was like malnourished. So like I would always have like, just like I would be like concave, and it made you kind of intimidating when people would like they think like, oh, like maybe he's like 5'6", kind of like squirrely, and then when they talk shit, you'd like stand up and you're like, oh, like I'm all of 5'11", and it's like, oh shit, like he's a normal sized human being. Maybe we'll just treat him like a bro instead. I had to do that a lot. Where like you just I call it uncoiling.
Uncoiling.
Like, yeah, like a rattlesnake. You just come up, rise up, and you're like, oh shit, like all right. He actually weighs. He's like a person. He's not like a little fucking golem looking down there.
Hey, that's nature right there, man.
Yeah.
You gotta posture up. It's because it really is still an interaction of animals out there, which is what all these goddamn politicians need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
We're still just a bunch of crazy fucking monkeys filled with chemicals and rage.
But do you?
And wants and dreams.
There's so much that we could be doing more, like scientifically, to like further the human race at an incredible rate. Just like if we don't know, we just found out like like your fascia, that like the white shit that's like in between your skin and your muscles, that like when you're gutting a deer, you gotta cut that off to hide it.
Yeah.
Like they just like a couple. I have to look it up. Producer guy, you'll figure it out in a minute. Like that last year, this year, they were like, oh shit, that's an organ. Like that whole thing covering your body is an organ, which explains why. I like you like when you clench one fish, like one fish. What the fuck, fist? When you clench a fist,
one fishy fist.
I got the torpedo IPA here. Yeah, when you if you clench your left fist, your handshake with your right hand will be firmer. Because you're clenching that fascia, and like it like sends a signal throughout your body, and it makes everything else
that is
tougher.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're just now figuring this stuff out.
Dude, people don't know shit, man.
Yeah, I've so come to realize that people are so full of shit. Some people know a lot about a little, and God bless those people, because that's why we know anything about anything.
Yeah, man.
The guy who's like, I need to make the perfect chef knife, like him too, like he's like, I'm dedicated to a task. Like, what if the first blacksmith wasn't like, what if I melt this rock down, and this thing that comes out, I try and hammer it into shape.
Yeah.
And I fold it back on itself 1,000 fucking times to temper it. Like who would think to do that?
Dude, that's good old human ingenuity right there, man.
You think about so many things we have today. Who's the first one to be like, I need to try this? You think most things were accidents? Like, I know, like, everyone talks about penicillin. Like, oh, that was discovered by accident. You think most things are like, holy shit, what is this? Like, what did I fucking do here?
I think a lot of, I do, well,
like,
I like to think that there's a lot of people out there working really hard, and because they're working really hard at something they're passionate about, sometimes they discover like amazing things by happenstance. But a person that was sitting on
think
the
it's
couch, not like trying to increase his knowledge of microbiology or fungi and shit like that, he would never be lucky enough to discover penicillin because he just wasn't investing his time into a situation where he would be able to discover something like penicillin.
Mm-hmm.
So I think luck is a thing, but the amount of luck you have is directly proportional to the amount of work you're willing to exhibit to meet your goals.
Which comes back around to having a great questioning attitude, which, as a trait, makes you a great presidential candidate.
Dude, this podcast has been full of triangulation.
Absolutely.
Dude, we're like a couple of triangles.
Well, life is like a circle. It's very...
There's a lot of triangle stuff inside of a circle.
There is. I'm sure if you look at some Da Vinci stuff, he's got some circles and triangles. Triangles and circles.
That's right. Well,
now that we've wrapped that one up, figured that one out.
Hey, guys, we're just here discovering life's mysteries and answering all the hard questions and making observations.
Mm-hmm.
Skyler, thank you.
Yeah. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here.
This has been a nice episode of the Life in God's Pocket.
Life in God's Pocket.
That's still the title of what we're going with, and fuck it if you don't like it. You can suck on my handshake.
Yeah.
Go right. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.